Put in a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Good morning. Welcome. I'm Ed Odell, along with, I have a sitting co-host today.
I'm Ryan. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you.
Ryan,
how are you?
Ryan, I'm doing well. And how are you feel? It's a little chilly in here.
It is a little chilly.
It is a little chilly, but we're making it. Welcome to what's going down.
Excited.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an interesting hour. Ashley, hello, and thank you for joining us, dear.
Hey, Ashley.
She's on the other side of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's over in the Chester area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Thank you for taking us out. I appreciate it.
She's been a pretty good traveler. Since she hooked up with us, she almost hits every show, and I really
awesome.
appreciate that. So, Ashley, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
For sure, definitely. What's up, Facebook user?
Yeah, who's that? I should have. Oh, it's Jim.
Hey, Jim. What's going on, man? How are you?
Jim Livingston in the house. Hello. He's checking in from North Carolina. I'm going to drop the chat spot in there so y'all can hit that. I know Jim's at work, so Jimmy. So we have a pretty good show for y'all today. Not gonna lie to you guys, no paranormal news. It has been saturated with science of Earth and ufology.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We were talking before the show started. And the intro music, as y'all were waiting in the lobby to get the show, really hit on something that was really unique. And Ryan and I were talking about it. And, it's something that's very interesting that gets in our psyche. And, Ryan, go ahead.
We were talking about because we were talking about Stranger Things and how the intro music sounded like that. Then I started thinking about listening to a podcast, and they were saying that the show Unsolved Mysteries used something called a devil's tritone. So I looked up, that's what makes it sound so creepy. And I looked up a couple of articles about that. The first one is about a college professor was asked why the Unsolved Mysteries is so spooky. It says, Lunar was asked why the theme song to the long-running and recently rebooted TV show Unsolved Mysteries was so spooky. The reboot changes a few things, no host, for example, but the theme song remains the same. Lerner, who teaches a music and sound and horror films class, which sounds pretty fun, attributes the power of the Mysteries theme to the dissonant tritone known as the devil's interval. Horror movie fans will also note that the theme echoes another famously eerie piece of music, the theme to the 70s horror classic Halloween. So,
yeah, that's another thing I didn't even think about, when I was listening to that. Now, I knew about the devil's tone because that's one of the things I studied in the past when it comes to music. That's one of my passions. But to apply it, you don't even think about it in today's society until it hits you. That's why, Stranger Things sticks in your head.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, mysteries. That's why it sticks in your head.
And you hear it, you get creeped out by it.
Mm-hmm. And I think if I was right, Halloween was the first to actually intervene in that in their intro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any other television show or movie did that until Halloween. And think about it, you guys. Everybody can walk around and all you hear is
Yeah.
Can't get that damn thing out of your head. Wait. Exorcist.
Yeah.
Tubular bells. I wonder if Tubular Bells uses that. I'm going to research that now.
It says the interval.
Jaws.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there's an interval so dissonant that it's earned the nickname the Devil's Interval, and it was avoided for centuries by composers and the peoples they taught.
Avoided.
Like they wouldn't play it.
Well, that would be interesting because I think I'm going to see if I can scoot that back a little bit, get us some room in here. Hey, look at that.
There we are. Perfect now. See?
Now we're doing good. I can kind of, you go back and you listen to classical pieces, chromatic scale that they use, and the offsets of the beats. I can see that. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
I wonder now, in a piece that I was working on, it does talk about how music does affect situations like the paranormal. I will say Sunday night, for those who can tune in, Melody Brookman will be talking about the effects of religious music on her case. So that's very interesting to me that this comes up.
Like what tones of when you hear a religious song compared to the devil's music.
Yeah.
How it makes you feel, listening to people like Enya or, like meditation music,
Mm-hmm. Light bulb.
Hey, well, you go.
Something to try here.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Here or over there.
When I left, put the radio in there, and I left music playing for a week after Christmas. I just kept it going.
Yeah.
To see if it would,
I think it kind of calmed it down a little bit, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird because remember when we went in there after the fact, it was kind of like it was an unusual energy.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just call for Christmas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's just taking a break.
Yeah. There's turn this music off. I hate Christmas music.
Y'all are torturing me. Well, we want to talk about that. So that's interesting, and you can hear a little bit more. If you catch Marcy, she talks about tones and music, her and Susan. So that's another good show. Check out that one last week. Check it out. So let's jump into the news, you guys. Hey, it's news time. Dun, 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 dun. And like I said, it's saturated with ufology and science. So I couldn't find anything that was updated about the paranormal, supernatural.
I mean,
no new tales.
Probably just people talking about evidence that they've captured on different,
that's pretty much it, right?
Different pubs in England. That's usually what I get when I go look up supernatural news.
What we've been finding is people putting out their evidence videos. Agreed. But when it comes to it's almost like the paranormal world kind of stale. And that's what I'm trying to break through.
Yeah.
We're missing some links, and I think we've finally hit that wall where we're trying to push through and go, there's more to this, but maybe it does have to do with ufology. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Actually, again, Sunday night, she talks about both too. My theory the last 2 years, she's an experiencer of this phenomenon. So I'm interested to find out what happens. Good morning. Who is that? Let's find out who that is. Good morning, Monica.
Hey, Monica.
So everybody that's in the travelers right now, I can't see your comments on who it is. So if you want to stay here, great. Or if you want to jump over to my main page, we'll be able to see your name. Travelers page sometimes will give us that fact that, I know you guys have signed into Restream and allowed it, but for some reason, Travelers page sometimes says no.
I was having the same problem yesterday.
Did you?
CR was making comments, and it's just kept saying Facebook user.
Yeah.
So, that's the first time I've ever experienced that.
But there's a glitch just going across. I think it's based off groups and pages.
Oh, I got you.
So, but yeah, guys, if you want to jump on over to my main page, you can go over to the Rift Nation Network and jump in there. Really, we're just here to see your name. We say hello.
Gotta give you props for watching the show, man.
That's right. Miss Linda's in the house. Good morning, love. Hopefully
Hey,
this works. Good
Hey.
to see everyone.
Rhonda's here.
Rhonda's in the house.
Now, if your name is actually Facebook user, you can let us know that too.
Yeah, just put your name in
If
there.
your name is, if your parents named you Facebook user, which I think would be really weird, no offense, but
Scammers, you trolls, you
That's right.
bastards.
we'll
Good
give you
point.
your props
Yeah,
too.
we'll give you your props. Just make sure to put Facebook
This is
user, Facebook user.
Judgment-free zone here.
Right? Okay, we're good. So let's jump into the big news. Let's jump into the biggest story
Dive in.
into the last 6 weeks, shall we? This is coming from, guess what? January 5th. Do we all know what happened? January 5th, this huge supposed 10-foot alien appeared outside of a Miami mall. Now, to give the basis of this,
It was
thing,
insight too, because people were saying
Yes.
seeing it. There were 3 of them, and they were walking. And one of the guys who did like a TikTok video said it was stepping in and out of reality. Like it would show up and then it would disappear, almost like an interdimensional being.
right?
Um,
Now, this is what intrigues me, though. How many people were inside that mall?
I mean, hundreds
And
probably.
they're going to say chaos in place.
Yeah,
You're going to tell me there's not a buttload of video
yeah, that's
from
what.
the
Yeah,
cameras? Oh, if I
They-
had a cell phone, I'd be like, bitches, look.
they were saying that the cops were gathering the cell phones and erasing the evidence.
Yeah, I've heard that. I also heard that through reports, if you will, that the police department were the ones who shut the power down. Supposedly the power grid went down into the mall. Now, that's something that's not talked about either.
No,
So to me, some of that just sounds sketchy. The police spoke up and said there was 50 kids shooting fireworks and looting in the mall. That's all it was.
did you see how many cops were at that?
Oh, dude. It
There
was,
were like hundreds of cops for kids that were shooting off fireworks.
yeah,
Talk about
that's
overkill.
overkill. And that's a good point. That's a good word. That's a really good word, overkill. And the reason I bring this up too is because, all right, this is updated news, right? This is what we do. But let's link it a little bit. Okay.
There you are, Jim.
Can you see me now? Oh, we can absolutely see you. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Hey, you wanted a hat?
Yeah,
I got to make you a hat. That's what let's link this to June 7th, 2023. All right. This, which took place, was another alien capture. This took place in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was captured by a family. Now, before we go any further, I did tell Ryan this, and I want to tell you guys. I'm not putting any video out. I'm not showing any videos. I do not want to lead you. I want you to go to these sites. I want you to do this for yourself. I want you to look at the evidence. You decide for yourself.
That's a good
Yep.
question.
I'm going to get to that in just a second. I want you to go to YouTube, check out Laney and Ben. Great group, great site. Check that out. They actually talk about all this. Go
Great
ahead.
news source for the paranormal. They talk about all the stuff on
Really
there.
do. They're really good guys, man. They have a lot of good insight.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, hit up with one. Go for it. Was there a fire truck? I mean, if they were worried about fireworks, coffee. It's getting to me.
Getting to yeah.
I'm excited. You know what? She's got a valid point. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you. I didn't see a single fire truck. I didn't even see rescue squads.
I mean, and did they know that they were dealing with fireworks? Because I mean, you said about firecrackers, that could sound like a gun in a place like a mall.
Yeah, I agree.
First thing you think of will probably be a gun.
All right.
not a firecracker.
Exactly. Now think about this. Now we're going to compare and contrast, but let's go to this question and let's really look at it. First responders. If there's an incident such as this, all first responders react.
Mm-hmm.
Rescue squads, fire engines, police department. To have a police department that was out there in such gross amount.
I mean, you could probably do anything around the Miami area that day because all the police were at the mall. They could be just like, oh, I'm going to start stealing shit because all the cops are over here.
But yet it's saying looting.
Yeah.
In the reports, it says the police department says shooting fireworks and looting.
Were there any arrests made?
No arrests were made. No arrests were made.
Kind of makes you think a little bit.
Exactly, yes. And there would be smoke from the fireworks, I would think. And that's exactly right. There's another thing. There would be smoke from fireworks. Now, I went back and I wanted to pull out the Vegas report, and then we'll tie this all together for you guys. I had a great conversation with Robert, Odell, my brother, and we were discussing the things. And he's a very big ufologist, working in and around MUFON and the whole process of aliens. And we spoke about it. Now, he actually took a trip out there. I think it was about 6 weeks after the event.
Oh,
he actually went to Nevada. Yep, he sure did. And he was speaking. Now, I'm going to say something about this too, which may stab myself in the foot. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. First, the family who made the reports in Nevada, they're missing. Nobody knows, nobody's heard from them. Nobody has seen them. After they placed this report, the whole nine, the family disappeared.
Like off the grid, or nobody can find them?
No, nobody knows. Nobody's heard from them. Nobody has seen them in reports. No family has spoken with them. They don't know where they are. So that leads me to one thing or two things. Could it be possible that they were scamming, put a little bullcrap propaganda out there, realized that it might have gone too far, and they jetted out of town?
Do you think they're real cops that showed up? What's up, Angels R.I.F.T?
Hey, what's up, Nikki?
Nikki?
I do. I think that what was at the mall was real cops.
I mean, at Las Vegas.
Okay, now this is the interesting part about that one. Is there were several reporters, including a very popular reporter in Nevada. Any of you ufologists, you know who I'm speaking of, that did say that there was police reports filed that there was police on the scene. Never found anything. But digging a little deeper, here we go with the twisted mind of fate of the rat tunnel we go down. I did find multiple reports of such same activity around Vegas in the Nevada area. This is where I'm saying I'm shooting myself in the foot. I looked at the supposedly footage that they have available from the incident. I've looked at the footage from outside of the mall. These things, whatever it was, tend to look exactly the same. They have long arms, 10 foot tall. What was outside the mall supposedly was in a foggish or cloudy figure. Like what I saw, I just saw shadows. I didn't even see a figurine. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I saw. The dimensional hole I saw inside was odd. It opened and looked very real until the end of something dropped and rolled under the bench like a ball, like a device of some sort. But I haven't seen it move yet. Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
All right. So now you're getting me on the other side, Monica. These are good points. Okay. I know Monica's an experiencer, so I have to go with that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, she's had her experiences. So it's interesting that you bring that up. It's interesting how we started this show. We were talking about the tones, and we started about Stranger Things. Dimensional. We're going to get to that. There's a story that talks about Dimensional, about a very high-profile individual that's in the spotlight right now. So we're going to get to that in just a second, hopefully. But I just wanted to bring these two stories up. They seem to be very familiar. They're interlocking. The entities, I like the word I use that.
Yeah.
The entities supposedly look the same, or figuratively speaking, if you will. Could they be dimensional? Anything's possible. I wasn't there. I can't say yes or no. All I can do is give the facts and let you guys determine your own. That's what this show's about. Giving you the news, letting you determine your own opinion on what is and isn't. Another reason why I'm not putting video out. So let's continue. We'll jump into this way. And I loved what Monica said, because the dimensional thing is becoming a big.
I wonder if the Men in Black got to the people in Las Vegas.
That's okay. We're going down that rabbit hole, shall we? Here's the ironic part about that. Since the mid 80s, there hasn't been hardly any documentation of MIB.
Or are they more secretive than they were before?
Or are they, if I have to use the if MIB is legit covert operation, if you will, or alien society, whichever you may be, have they changed the look to get in with the times? Are they more modern looking?
Yeah,
Well,
not so obvious.
Yeah, because well, really not obvious. You see two men walking down the road, you're thinking Mormon. I'm just saying, or Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Oh, look, black hats, suits, black ties, Jehovah's Witness. And nothing against that. That's not nor bad or good of the religion or thought. Trust me, but it is truth. That's what you see when you Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons. They wear the black suits or black ties, and sometimes they wear the hats. And now there's females. That's the other thing that I find interesting. Not a single report of a female of an MIB.
That is interesting.
That we have seen as of yet.
I wonder if it was actual cops that were erasing the messages or the phones, or if it was something else.
Or was it a subculture? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Nikki says, I've seen a portal. Been through a wormhole that acted like a vortex. Okay. Well, I was in the astral. That item, the opened up, was more dimensional in my opinion. Okay. There you go. Jim hits up. People aren't going to notice what is right in front of them. Exactly. I mean, I was going to talk about the military. What's the main goal is distraction. They're going to, in any military event that takes place, you divert the attention away from the actual action.
I'm wondering if the alien stuff is meant as a diversion or distraction for something that's going on over here. Hey, look at the aliens. And then over here, they're doing something completely different because our focus is on that.
Let's go to COVID. What happened right before COVID? We had killer bees. We had flying freaking spiders.
Yeah.
We had the riots.
For me, it's like, why aliens? Why would aliens show up in the middle of a mall when they're trying to be secretive? They show up and you hear stuff like this, and it goes to National Enquirer or places like that.
It used to, right?
Yeah. Now it's going to like NBC News, which they would never cover stuff like that.
No, they would have never.
So what's the change?
Well, last year, a lot of astrologists, a lot of ufologists said that this was going to be the year that everything.
Maybe they're doing it to make us make people like us who believe in this stuff look stupid. Oh, look at these guys, these aliens showing up at the mall. Okay, whatever. It really discredits what we're trying to do
as paranormal researchers.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And people look at it. Oh, okay. All these aliens are showing up at the mall, making us look like crackpots.
But they're putting it into social media as an event that takes place too. Now, what does that go against? To me, that sounds like it goes against the church.
Yeah.
So what direction is it actually coming from? Are they trying to dismantle the church? Because we know in the last 5 years, the church has changed its mind about saying something about alien activity. They've admitted to it that there's other life. Even the Pope right now, the present Pope has said we know and accept that there's life other than us in the universe. Now, this is the Pope saying that.
There are a lot of like legit alien abductees,
Mm-hmm.
like Nikki here, and people have experienced things like that. That if they want to talk to them about them and put them on the news, or I'm not sure she wants to be on the news, but just if you want to go down that route or
Right.
like show people that's legit, is a better way of doing it than the Miami Mall story being, because I just don't think people will take it seriously.
I don't either. That's
You
why
know?
I'm like, maybe that is the case. Now, again, we have no pictures. Supposedly, the police department or whoever erased whatever phones were there. You think I'm giving my phone to somebody just because of that? Oh, no, my phone
Yeah.
would be in my
Yeah,
sock. I'm like,
exactly.
No, you're not getting my shit. But then again, we're researchers,
Or are they
right?
plants? Or is it like they're like, well, people like I need you to go on TikTok and say you saw this stuff to try and you know,
Emphasize.
it
the
ramp up the
situation.
activity. It's like when you go, every time they talk about paranormal investigators in the news, it's always the people who break in places,
Right.
or legit news, not like
Yeah,
and there's
don't
all
hear
legit
about-
news, but
yeah.
NBC, CNN, places
Well,
like that.
Other than Dr. Michiguku,
Yeah,
I mean, we got him in our corner. We've got some great investigators and journalists out there. But again, we're going to talk about one journalist in just a minute that's blowing the top off everything, or he's trying to. But then
Mhm.
again, are we being misformed by him? The military, because he worked prior for the military. So did Grush, and we're going to talk about
you
him.
really don't know for sure.
We don't.
What the end game is.
Right.
Exactly.
Nikki says all points call out for so many officers showing up. Questionable. Who called out the bulletin? No one has said.
Right there.
Thank you.
I've witnessed 9 foot tall ETs walking down hallways with U.S. military before. Military is extremely secretive.
Mhm.
This makes me question what is actually going on. A fleet of officers in an all. There it is. All
Yeah.
points call out.
There it is.
And are these people who, who made these TikTok videos?
Mhm.
Are they okay? There's one guy who said he was there. He did a video. Like, I was there. I was in Miami with my girlfriend. I saw all these things and I saw this is real. I was down there on vacation and was going to buy some shoes with my girlfriend. And then like 2 or 3 days later, he was like, dude, guys, I was trolling. I was never in Miami. I've never been to Miami. But he was like really upset. The first video, the second video, he was like, I was never there.
Yeah.
Was it legit, or was he told not to say that, or was he just
again? You're pulling into the threads of MIB documentation,
Mhm.
right? Where we say one thing, just like we saw in Roswell. One thing he said a day or two later.
Everything's fine here. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, it's just a weather balloon.
Just keep moving. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, it's more than a
It's
weather
just-
balloon. It's Project Mogul.
You know what? It's probably just swamp gas. What they were seeing. That's what it was.
It was just swamp gas.
It was a Chinese lantern. That's another one.
There's your fire.
That's right.
Fire.
You're letting out. I hate when people let out Chinese lanterns in the middle of a mall.
It's just
that stuff happens all the time.
So frustrating.
Yeah, it's like
damn kids and their damn heavy metal music.
and their damn Chinese lanterns. Kids these days.
I swear.
God.
But these are some very good questions, you guys, and these are the things we were thinking about. And I'm glad y'all are bringing it to the forefront, because my first thought was, where the hell are the fire engines? Where are the rescue squads if this was a shooting? And I know we've spent a lot of time on this, and we could probably talk the whole show about this, but it's just really interesting. Monica, or is it a push against Musk, which is definitely happening right now? Oh, that's an interesting thought. I'm going to have to ponder that. That is a good point, Monica. Nikki, it also makes me question, since those phones are confiscated, how many of those specific witnesses come up missing later? If deep black ops is all involved, everything goes out the window. No, I totally agree, Nikki. I mean, we've got evidence over evidence with that. Look at NASA. NASA can have somebody assassinated within 12 hours if not earlier. They've done it to their own people. And this is truly documented. It's not something I'm just squirting out. I did a show 4 years ago about the moon landing, and we uncovered some really crazy shit that NASA has done. Jim, I wish I wasn't working. We could really go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea, brother.
We're kind of dipping our toes in, but yeah, we could definitely
Yeah.
go
Big
deep. Big Pharma does that too.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So I don't want to just keep on barking on this, but this was a great subject and probably should have just nailed this one to the show, because we could talk about theories and understanding the whole time, and it's true. But there's a little bit more out there, and I want to get to. Rhonda, reply to Jim saying, same. I'm just having to listen. Everybody's at work, and we want to thank you for joining in today.
Yeah, I appreciate
really
you taking your time to come out here. Either Howie is so hyped up on coffee, he's shaking like, oh my God, or he's really cold over here.
Both.
He's like,
I was like, I'm not worried about cold. I'm not doing it. But it's only 55 degrees here at the cabin. So I'm just like, R. No wonder Sarah's like, are you okay? Yes.
good. Yeah.
I'm fine.
What do you ask?
There's nothing wrong with me.
I twist like this all the time.
So let's move on a little bit and we'll get some more of this stuff in because I know we got about 30 minutes left. Okay, so we're finishing up. Smoky images. We don't have confirmation.
Courtney, good to see you.
Hey, Court. Hello, lady. Shenanigans and the all about the aliens. By the way, if you don't have your coffee, you don't have your tea, you don't have your beverage, come on, get it and join us. Let's talk. Let's go into little Jeremy Carbell. Oh, talk about aliens in the forefront of ufology. Jeremy Carbell is one of those individuals, along with Grush, who are really pushing the agenda. He's a journalist, okay? And they're discussing why is he like becoming the enemy number one when it comes to the military and the government about ufology. Well, here's a couple of interesting points. His discoveries have been amazing. He was connected in the military, and he has connections in the military that are leaking secrets to him, and he has not given them out, which is very frustrating to the military. So they're trying to hassle and push him now. Oh, that's interesting. Now, why are we bringing Jeremy up? Well, here recently, and Ryan and I were just talking about this. Here recently, Jeremy released 2 videos. And these videos are what he calls the jellyfish UAPs. UFOs, for some of you, do not want to use the word UAP.
Yeah.
And one was the one you were talking about. Why don't you talk about that one?
There was a video of it looked like a jellyfish floating over a military base in Iraq. But to me, it looked like biotic, life form, not a actual spaceship.
It looked like a
biological.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. To me, it's just
okay.
I mean, it's grainy. I don't know if it's not like it's the clearest.
Yeah, it was CCTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but to me, I don't know. It looked like something, an actual life form, but it's flying over these buildings and houses and stuff, and it's not like there was a huge report on it. People were talking, or even like you go on Twitter, you'd think they'd be like, "Oh my God, there's an alien floating over my house right now."
Right.
That was that. As far as I know, that's the only evidence they captured was from what's his face, Corbell.
Right. Well, he got that from a military source that leaked it to him.
Okay.
But that's where the other video came from too. That's what he's saying. Okay. He's saying that both of these videos were leaked to him through a viable source through the military.
Everyone has phones, though, and everyone can look up at the sky and take a video and then push send and put it out to social media.
It is
very easily.
Easy now. That's what, we're linked into the matrix, for God's sake. You'd think all this would be seen. Now, on his second video that I saw, it was a similar looking object. I'll use that word. And it was in a military facility here in the United States. And it was going through the warehouses.
Military facilities.
Yeah.
What are they trying to find out? Like,
that's when if this is a legit video, what it looked like to me is I'm going there. I'm going to use some of Robert's terminology because that's where he is.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like probes from the Empire in Star Wars to me. It didn't look like a jellyfish. It actually looked like an Imperial probe. Biological was a good point, though. I didn't see the movement. I saw stiffness, but it was moving. But it definitely had tentacles or arms from the bottom, and it was definitely hovering because nothing can make that.
I wonder how big, videos. Like on scale, how big it is.
Okay, well, if I'm looking and thinking about the warehouses are usually 2 stories high, for the most part. All right, let's just look at it if it's not. If your majority of your roof's going to be anywhere from 10 to 14 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
These things were just below that. So whatever it was at least 12 feet high from top to bottom. Width, probably about 6 to 8
12
feet.
Feet high. That's not exactly a stealth.
No.
While driving around, trying to drive around a warehouse.
Right.
Right. It's like, you might notice a 12-foot flying object flying around the warehouse.
And that's the other part about this video. There was nobody out there. There were no vehicles. There was no humans walking around. No living creatures, if I say that.
Was it nighttime? Or
it was supposedly both nighttime. Okay. If it's a military security place, it would have armed guards.
Where was the camera? Because it looked like it was way up in the air.
It did. That's the other thing. They looked like they were
down.
being taken from drones.
That would be CCTV, though, would it?
It still would be CCTV. They're still the same premise. They just have a higher definition. Still a camera.
Why was the drone out?
Why was it there at the time of coming? And you're right. Now, let's look at Area 51 real quick. They have cameras everywhere, and they have them in trees and up on poles. Okay. Maybe these cameras were on poles. Let's give the 22.
Yeah.
Let's catch 22. We weren't there, so we don't know the location. That's the interesting part. Nikki Hun, correction. Jeremy Colbert is not a journalist. The guy he works with out of Las Vegas Jeremy is documentarian. He films folks in the 40 plus years of journalism for George Knapp. Well, of course, that's George Knapp. Monica, such a hard place to be in. Years and years, videos were just edible. This is true, but I haven't a clue how video can be manipulated, and we are going to have to depend on what we see
that
ourselves.
That is true. She makes a good point. People can put stuff out there, especially with TikTok and people wanting to get views. They could edit things and make it look legit especially with the editing software they have out now. Even with all of ours, paranormal, Bigfoot, stuff like that. It gets clicked. Those videos get views, and that's what people are out for.
Do get views. And I mean, these are valid points. I mean, we're looking here. Yeah, a lot of paranormal evidence and cryptoid evidence gets torn apart too. And with understanding, that's why I've taken that point. I wasn't there. I can't comment. I can give you my opinion of what I've seen. And that's what I do. Somebody asks me, what do you see here? And I'm going to be honest with them. I think that's why I've got that reputation. I'm not going to lie to you. If there's an explanation, I do that to you. I'm going to tell you why. If I can't,
that's why I go to him and be like, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah, I mean, if I can't explain it, and the people that I'm connected with can't determine or can't say, "Oh, well, this could be the camera flare, it could be this, that," then yeah, we're going to document it as paranormal. But if it can be logically explained, I'll give an explanation. It doesn't mean that's it, though. I'm just giving my opinion. So, I mean, that's interesting. But yeah, to me, going back to this case, I can, if it was me and I was a military in the position of a military leadership, and not necessarily the United States. We'll just say that because that hasn't been brought up either. Foreign technology, anything's possible right now.
Mm-hmm.
Germans defined gravitational generation engines back in World War II. So how far has that come? Because these be, just actual probes using graviton engines. I mean, anything's possible. Testing. Maybe they caught on camera our own testing of our own shit.
Yeah, I mean,
oh look, we caught something. Oops, that was ours. just a good point. Monaco. Let's see. Got that. Nikki says yes. The device comes from another planet. I recognized it, but unable to remember which race of ET. And yeah, so easy for movies to make it. Agreed. Looks like Star Wars moving thing. Courtney says reply. Hi, darling. Nikki, too many options. And that's the thing. We've made this world that you cannot decipher at this point now what is real and what is created. I will say that's true because a lot of video games now, especially get on Facebook, 3/4 of the stuff you see on Facebook on the reels now is all created. It's not real.
No, yeah.
That's what made me last year go, is the war real, or this conflict between the Pakistan and Israelis real? Is the stuff over in Russia real? Because it's so easy to make if you're good at it.
Now you were talking about, like, even back in the day, filming the moon landing, or like making, and that would take a lot more effort.
Hey Megan,
to do something like that when they land on the moon, to build a whole set and make it look like we went to the moon, to try and make us look, the U.S. government, look like it was better than Russia.
Right. Exactly.
All right, be right back.
Yeah, go do your thing, man. So I'm going to move on. We're going to now. You can go to Jeremy Campbell's YouTube page. He's got all this stuff in there. You can check it out for yourself, and I encourage you to do so. Make your own opinions, your own insight. I'm just delivering what I researched and giving you leads. We're going to move into the Y files. Hello, how many people have Y files? Raise your hands. Woo! Love those guys. And the fish makes me laugh. Y files. This is another one that came out. Dark Watchers return. Have they returned, the Dark Watchers? Now, in the Lesedi Mountains, there was good morning. Good morning. Who was that? I'm going to grab that. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, he did. I would not disagree with that, Nikki. He did weaponize it, and very smart move on that. I would have done the same thing, actually. Now, the Dark Watchers are supposedly a group of entities in the Lesedi Mountains. This is documented all the way back in the 1800s, where people would be hiking through this mountain range, and they would see these creatures, entities, that were, let me get back up in there, anywhere from 10 to 12 feet tall. They were in a shadow tent, so, the whole shadow person. Absolutely, Ashley. I do too. I think he's great. I think they do a great job there. So I encourage people to go check out the Wild Files. It's an amazing show. Sorry, got a lot of indigestion this morning. It is, let me get back to where I was. My brain just went, woo! All right. So they are talking about these entities in the Lesedi Mountains. And they tend to have this shadow person figure, but they're anywhere from 10 to 12 feet tall. Now, here's the interesting part. Only thing you can see are these low glowing eyes, and they have been documented to having these like larger sombrero hats and what seems to be some kind of cloak. I know, I got company now. I'm seeing it. Anyway, So they wear some kind of form of cloaks, and they follow these hikers through the mountains, and they've never been a case of uh, interaction of negative or anything, but it has been stated here recently. There's been several hikers that have been through here that have seen them again. The interesting part is if you have any form of technology like a cell phone or camera or whatever, they don't appear. It's only when you do not have technology that is documented. So we've got no proof of this. However, this is a very interesting tale. So why are they back? Hey, Mama Sue. Hello, hello, hello. That's the name of the YouTube channel, Weaponized. Oh, I thought you were making a statement, but I agree with both. And yeah, I do believe it is weaponized. And I think he's got another YouTube too, Nikki. He's got another YouTube channel as well. So that's interesting. Now, why I'm bringing this around is something that caught my attention while I was watching this episode of the Y-Files. Check this out. I have personally spoken to John Titor too, several years ago. He's been on my show, I think, 3 times. As I'm watching and going through here, the witness of John Steinbeck, author, he told his story through the story of called Flight. So check that out. But as I'm listening through this whole thing, you might find this interesting. I was talking about the Y-Files, about the Dark Watchers.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here and I'm watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever interview or did you ever hear John Titor's tone of voice, how he talked?
I know the name,
Okay.
but I can't think of it right
He's
now.
the gentleman who supposedly was able to time travel using a toolbox. There was a toolbox item.
Like a port key,
Right.
Like Harry Potter or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Well, the interesting part to me, and this is why I brought this up, is the narrator that was talking on the subtitles of the author for John Steinbeck. Turn that off. Sounded just like John Titor too.
Oh.
I mean, to the T. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is interesting. Why is his voice? And it just caught me off guard. So go check it out. Check out the Y-Files. Check out Dark Watchers. Have they returned? It was a great episode. But there's a lot of documentation that they're back and people can't explain it. Now, why is this all happening? This is the other thing. Before we get into the science, and I know we got 10 minutes, and I'm going to make that a quickie. 3-minute, man.
A paranormal quickie here.
Yeah. Why all of a sudden that in the last, I'm just going to say in the last 20 years, let's go back 30, how not just the paranormal, but the ufology has like blown sky high. Is it our tech? And this is what I'm going to ask you in your opinion. Is it because of our technology? Is it because of, computers and G3, 4, 5? Is this all? I brought this to your attention because of the cell phone towers that are G5 behind us.
Yeah.
We're
more connected through Facebook,
mm-hmm.
through social media, and people who have similar outlooks on life are more able to communicate and opening ourselves up more to the possibility of aliens, where before the thought of alien life was like kind of scary, but now that we have people who are kind of like able to communicate with each other, as for even the paranormal, and we're talking about even interdimensional beings being able to, maybe the fact that we're more open to this, we're sending out a signal, and
conscious,
yeah, exactly, and they show that maybe we're more equipped to handle something like this in increments,
right?
Not a whole fleet of aliens show up at once, but like through social media, through like pictures, through videos and stuff, where they were, if we get more used to, it's like when you put like a frog in a boiling pot, but then it's gonna jump right out. But if you gradually increase the temperature,
it stays and
Yeah,
remains.
yeah.
Exactly. Earth science, gotta love it. That's
There we go,
natural
yes.
science. And that's a very valid point. Let's look at sociology real quick. That's the exact same thing. You're exactly right. If you gradually feed your society, it will slowly accept it. Here we are seeing the last 2-3 years, though, is society really accepting it because you can see anxiety and frustration going beyond its levels too. Now, is it because of what we're eating? Is it because of what we're drinking? Or is it because of the social events that are taking place?
Yeah. I mean, it's there's so much anxiety out there for everything, money, health, not, politics. So we're so divided when it comes to, who to vote for. If you say something about somebody else, either you're a racist or you hate people, or it's like,
Yeah, I get jumped on for using the H word, and reasonably so. That is something that's been socially acceptable and should not be used anymore. Same thing with the R word and
I don't know what the
retarded.
H word is.
Hate.
You can't use the word hate anymore.
Well, no. I can't. It's not that I can't, but it's the term, and I used it, and I was called out on it. But then I was like, you know what? She's right. That's a strong word.
If you use the word so much, and then what I was saying, if you use something so much, it begins to lose its meaning or strength behind a word.
Right.
And maybe they're seeing what we're doing, and they're like, okay, we need to come and do a we need to come in and let them know that, hey, we need to set them straight.
Well, Lord knows we're so close of our own self-destruction. It's not even funny.
I think I was talking to this guy named R. Keith Andrews. He's an experiencer. Great, interesting listen. And he was saying that the aliens don't really care about us. They care about the Earth. Yeah. And they don't want us destroying the Earth.
Yeah. The thing is what are they getting from the Earth? Well, did they have precious metals that they need? Is there things here on the Earth that they need? It's like a supply depot.
There are aliens on the Earth.
Right.
Like, people have been here way before us.
Thank you. Exactly.
That have, like, when you think of like, I guess, dwarves and leprechauns and stuff like that.
Elephants.
They've been here. Reptilians, they've been here, and they're more protecting the planet, not for what they can get off of it, just the fact that it's a living thing. The Earth is a living thing,
and maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why
we don't
know
that. We don't recognize
that. That are worried about it because they know if we go out into the universe, we could really destroy it because all we are is a death-mongering group of living organisms. That's true.
You should definitely see if you can get R. Keith Andrews on your show.
Absolutely.
He talks about all the different races of aliens, and it's just like, not like he has to think about it. He just knows, okay, this is this race, this is that race. They don't like each other, or this one, like, one looks like a half cow, half man. It was like he knows his stuff.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I might have to reach out to him for the Orion Effect.
Look up Spaced Out Radio on like podcast network, and he's on there a lot. Dave Scott does a lot of stuff on aliens. I've been listening to him for a few months now.
Okay.
And if you're into aliens, check out Spaced Out Radio.
There you go.
For sure.
Check it out.
Of course, once we give them a plug, the popularity is going to skyrocket. That's right. Once you get the Rift Radio Nation's plug, it's going to. You're welcome.
Put it out there for y'all.
You're welcome, Dave.
Let me read this out. Nikki said they're tired of waiting. The good ETs want humans and have higher consciousness, more open consciousness. They're a big frustration with our global governments dumbing down consciousness. Now, I totally agree with you now. And Monica Hits is somewhere you have visited it and researched and know extremely well as aliens probably have. And our chemistry has drastically changed with C. Oh, good point there. And also probably curious of the world death rate. Good point. Nikki says, just talking about Love Keith, because many abductees have been inculcated, okay, by the ETs. All right. Howie, I'll give you his info. R. Keith Andrew, I know him. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. God, it makes me go, should I push this show 2 hours? I didn't even get into half of what I wanted to talk to and bring to your attention. I will say this. I want you all to take the time, go into your YouTube, look out for these channels, look up the other one that I want to bring y'all's attention to is Universal Narrative. Go check that channel out. That's a lot of good information. The Dr. Uku is on there, Michi Uku. A lot of good information on that channel. Of course, the Y-Files. All these are designed to help you, see your own point. Another one that I want to give mad props to is the Angry Astronaut. Go check him out. He puts out daily and weekly reports. He's a great guy, and he really gives you the inside feed. He did work for NASA, so he has the physics background. Oh, crucial. Let's talk about David real quick. Before, I know we got like 2 minutes, but why is NASA so scared of David Grush? Because the man is leaking it. He headed up the 2023 congressional meeting. He has the connections. He's openly telling people that the government is hiding. Now, we started this again with Stranger Things at the beginning. Here we go. Let's tie it all together. He is also now saying that a lot of the captured or taken space aerial crafts, vehicles that we are seeing now, are not universal. They are dimensional. He thinks, and now this is a man who got put through physics by the Air Force. Mm-hmm. The Air Force can't deny this shit. They can't do what they did to Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Okay. This man is just dropping the real sound down. And now NASA and the government's bothered by the fact that he has so much information. He has contacted so many people. Check out the Universal Narrative and check out why is NASA scared of David Grush.
And he's letting stuff out. So like if he goes missing, then people are going to notice that.
Yeah.
And they might connect the dots a little bit.
But the politicians, we have a lot of missing politicians that are connected to things. So can't say that that's the case. However, if he can get it out before something does happen, if something was to happen, I don't put anything past our government, our military. I don't put anything past anything anymore. And that's not even on personal experience. I'm not even go to there. It's just on the research that I have done in the last 7 years with this, with the Orion effect, things that I have uncovered and went, holy hell.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It really is.
To see where this whole thing goes,
Yep. Rue, I thank you for joining me today, man.
I appreciate you inviting me to come out and join us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys, all of you, for tuning in today. Again, this might have to go 2 hours. I don't know, because
once you start talking, it's tough, especially with these things where you give different opinions and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be looking forward to talking about this again. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. We'll dive into some more. Let's see what happens from a month from now. I could talk. Next month, and when I return with the show, we'll see what's out there, what's happened since.
I'd love to come back on and join you.
Yeah, come on. More than welcome to join me.
That'd be awesome.
That'll be a little warmer, and I won't be so hyped up on coffee. Yeah.
Next time we'll cut the heat on.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for joining me and Ryan this morning here on What's Going Down. It was some great conversations. Thank you for your input. That's what it's all about. And hopefully we gave you a little bit more brain food. Go do your research. Go listen. Make up your own mind. Don't let others tell you. Use it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
You got so much information at the tip of your fingers. Just type it out.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Yep.
And again, I thank you so much for being here. And thank you to all of you. I will see you all Sunday on the Orion Effect. Don't forget your show.
Be here Tuesday night.
So, bam, we're going to have a good one. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your day. Take some time to really focus and look around you. Not just look around you. Look around you.
Mm-hmm.
You may be interested in what you actually see.
Don't forget to look up those sometimes. You never know what might be flying up over your head.
You know that from personal experience, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Until then, may virtue be yours.